Othniel, the first judge of Israel, was a courageous leader from the tribe of Judah. Following the death of Joshua, the Israelites turned from God, falling into idolatry and adopting the worship of Baal and Asherah. In response, God allowed the king of Mesopotamia, Cushan-Rishathaim, to oppress Israel for 8 years. When the Israelites cried out to God in repentance, he raised Othniel, Caleb's younger brother, to deliver them. Empowered by the Spirit of the Lord, Othniel led an army against Cushan-Rishathaim and defeated the Mesopotamians, freeing Israel from oppression. His victory marked the beginning of a peaceful era, and under Othniel's leadership, the land enjoyed 40 years of peace and stability. His role as judge set a precedent for future leaders, as he delivered Israel through faith, courage, and reliance on God's guidance. Ehud. The Israelites again fell into sin, and God allowed them to be oppressed by King Elon of Moab, who allied with the Ammonites and Amalekites to conquer Israel. For 18 years, Elon ruled over them, and the Israelites cried out to God for help. God raised Ehud, a left-handed man from the tribe of Benjamin, to deliver them. Ehud crafted a double-edged dagger and concealed it on his right thigh, where it would be unexpected. He went to deliver Israel's tribute to King Elon, who was notably obese. After the tribute, Ehud told Elon he had a secret message for him, prompting the king to dismiss his servants. In private, Ehud used the opportunity to stab Elon in the stomach, and the king died instantly. Ehud locked the doors behind him and escaped. He then rallied the Israelites, leading them in a successful attack on the Moabites, killing around 10,000 men. This victory brought peace to Israel for 80 years. Ehud's cleverness and bravery exemplify God's power to deliver his people through unexpected means. Shamgar. Shamgar stands out for his extraordinary bravery and unconventional weapon. During a time of turmoil and foreign oppression, Shamgar rose as a judge and warrior to protect Israel from the Philistines, who were a constant threat to the Israelites. Armed only with an ox goad, a long pointed tool typically used to prod oxen, Shamgar managed to kill 600 Philistine soldiers single-handedly. This feat was remarkable, especially given that he lacked traditional weapons and military support. His courage and resourcefulness showed his dedication to Israel's safety and his reliance on God to accomplish what seemed impossible. Shamgar's story demonstrates that even ordinary tools can become powerful in the hands of someone willing to act with faith and courage. Deborah. Deborah's story is unique as she is both a prophetess and the only female judge of Israel. During a time when Israel was oppressed by King Jabin of Canaan, whose powerful army was led by General Sisera, Deborah held court under a palm tree, providing wisdom and guidance to the people. Under divine inspiration, Deborah called for Barak, an Israelite warrior, and instructed him to gather 10,000 men to confront Sisera's forces. Though Barak was hesitant and requested Deborah's presence in battle, she agreed, but warned that the victory would be credited to a woman, not him. As the battle unfolded at Mount Tabor, God intervened, causing Sisera's chariots to be thrown into disarray, likely due to sudden rains that muddied the battlefield. Barak's forces overwhelmed the Canaanite army, but Sisera escaped on foot, seeking refuge in the tent of Jair, a Kenite woman. Jair ultimately killed Sisera, fulfilling Deborah's prophecy. Deborah's victory song in Judges 5, known as the Song of Deborah, celebrates God's deliverance of Israel. Her leadership, courage, and faith in God inspired the people, bringing peace to Israel for 40 years and marking her as one of Israel's most significant judges. Gideon. Gideon's story is one of transformation from doubt to faith. Israel was oppressed by the Midianites, who devastated the land, leaving the Israelites impoverished and fearful. God chose Gideon, a humble man from the tribe of Manasseh, to deliver Israel. Initially, Gideon doubted his calling, even questioning God's presence due to Israel's suffering. To confirm his mission, Gideon requested multiple signs from God. First, he asked for dew to appear only on a fleece, and then for the fleece to stay dry while the ground was wet. God patiently fulfilled both signs, strengthening Gideon's resolve. Gideon then gathered an army, but God reduced it from 32,000 to just 300 men, ensuring that Israel would recognize the victory as God's work, not theirs. Equipped with trumpets, torches, and jars, Gideon's men attacked the Midianite camp at night, creating confusion and panic that led to the enemy's defeat. Following the victory, Israel enjoyed peace for 40 years. However, Gideon's later actions led to idolatry among the Israelites, as they worshipped a golden ephod he made. Tola, a man of the tribe of Issachar, was called to be a judge in Israel after the days of Abimelech, a harsh and turbulent period in the land's history. Known for his wisdom and loyalty, Tola rose to guide and restore Israel from turmoil and conflict. He lived in the hill country of Ephraim, in a place called Shamgar under Tola's governance. The people of Israel could live with a renewed sense of order and unity. He upheld the law and encouraged the people to follow God's ways, standing as a righteous example amid a time of recovery. After his 23-year leadership, Tola died and was buried in Shamgar. His legacy was one of quiet strength and faithful leadership, a reminder that even unheralded judges had a crucial role in sustaining the faith and unity of Israel. Jair, a judge from the tribe of Manasseh, rose to lead Israel after Tola. He was a man of wealth and influence. He had 30 sons, each of whom rode his own donkey, a sign of nobility and status in those days. His sons managed 30 towns in Gilead, which came to be known as Jair, or the villages of Jair, named in honor of their father. Under Jair's leadership, Israel enjoyed peace and order, with the land largely free from external oppression. His rule is noted not for wars or great battles, but for a time of consolidation and local governance. After his death, Israel once again faced periods of turmoil, but Jair's time as judge offered Israel 22 years of peaceful prosperity, a legacy of unity and regional strength. Jephthah, a mighty warrior of Gilead, was born to an unusual circumstance. His mother was a prostitute, and because of this, his half-brothers rejected him and drove him away from their home. Forced to live in exile, Jephthah fled to the land of Tob, where he gathered a band of followers and developed his skills as a fierce fighter and leader. Years later, Israel came under severe oppression from the Ammonites. Desperate for a leader, the elders of Gilead sought out Jephthah and asked him to return and lead them in battle. After securing a promise that he would be their leader if victorious, Jephthah agreed to help. Before the battle, Jephthah made a vow to God, promising that if he won, he would sacrifice the first thing to greet him upon his return home. God granted him victory over the Ammonites, and Israel was freed. But when he returned, it was his only daughter who came out to greet him. Heartbroken but bound by his vow, Jephthah fulfilled it in a somber ceremony. Ibzan of Bethlehem was a judge of Israel who rose to leadership after the time of Jephthah. He was known for his large family, as he had 30 sons and 30 daughters. Ibzan's family was central to his leadership, and he strategically arranged marriages for his children, sending his daughters to marry men outside his clan, and bringing in wives for his sons from distant tribes. This act of intermarriage helped foster unity and alliances across Israel, strengthening the ties between the tribes in a time when Israel often struggled with division. Ibzan's peaceful 7-year reign came to an end with his death, and he was buried in Bethlehem. Elon, a lesser-known judge from the tribe of Zebulun, led Israel for a period of 10 years. Elon's legacy is marked by stability and peace. Coming from Zebulun, a tribe known for its position near the Sea of Galilee and its dedication to trade and commerce, Elon likely brought a pragmatic, steady leadership that suited the needs of his people. Elon was buried in Aijalon in the land of Zebulun, where he had faithfully served his people. Abdon, a judge of Israel from the tribe of Ephraim, served as a leader after the time of Elon. Abdon, the son of Hillel, was a man of wealth and prominence from the town of Pirathon. Known for his large family, Abdon had 40 sons and 30 grandsons. During Abdon's 8 years as judge, Israel experienced peace and stability. Abdon was buried in his hometown of Pirathon in the land of Ephraim. Samson, the last of the judges of the ancient Israelites from the tribe of Dan, he was born a Nazirite, dedicated to God from birth, with a vow never to cut his hair. Israel was under the rule of the Philistines, and Samson was chosen by God to begin delivering his people from oppression. Endowed with supernatural strength, Samson's feats became legendary. He tore a lion apart with his bare hands, defeated 30 Philistines single-handedly, and struck down 1,000 with the jawbone of a donkey. Samson's strength was matched by his impulsive nature, which often led him into trouble, particularly with Philistine women. His love affair with Delilah, a Philistine woman, became his downfall. Delilah, bribed by the Philistines, persuaded him to reveal the secret of his strength, his uncut hair. She betrayed him, cutting his hair while he slept, and he was captured, blinded, and imprisoned. In his final act, Samson's faith was renewed, and he prayed for strength one last time. He pulled down the pillars of a Philistine temple, killing himself, and thousands of Philistines gathered there. Through his sacrifice, Samson achieved victory over Israel's oppressors, becoming a symbol of both strength and redemption.